while I was away also, I think you had Duncan here, did an outstanding job over the last couple of days. He usually does. He's a very good talkback host, actually. But he raised the issue of the Maori wards. And I had the unfortunate experience of just because I was sitting in my council meeting and I'm afraid it was getting a bit boring. I know, it's poor, but there you go. Of deciding that I would watch live the Kaipara District Council meeting at which the Maori ward issue was discussed. Now, I know Duncan has a different view than I, and I've got no difficulty with people having different views. That's fair enough. I think Duncan was in favour, from memory, of Maori wards. But can I say, I watched and then have read subsequently media reports of that Kaipara District Council meeting. And one of the things that struck me was the sheer physical intimidation and the violent rhetoric of those who were proposing that the Maori ward should be kept in that particular district. And how the media did not report, record, or faithfully document that the kind of people who are arguing for Maori wards in this country and who are protesting if they should be lost are behaving in such an inappropriate, violent, inflammatory, and frankly anti-democratic fashion. It strikes me that one of the great arguments that Maori ward proponents use is that Maori will be somehow disadvantaged, dispossessed, disregarded, or disenfranchised as a result of losing these particular seats around council. But that nobody actually thinks for a moment that they are entitled to stand for election, entitled to vote for whoever should represent them, and are arguing for a special ethnic status and favour. The problem with Maori wards, it seems to me, and this is where I would disagree with my colleague Duncan Garner, is that you are advantaging one ethnic group over all others, and you're essentially utilising that role to advance the purpose of that Maori group. You see, in Kaipara, which is a small district council, as we know in the far north, they have a whole series of issues, mostly related to running local government, but mostly related to prosaic stuff like delivering drinking water, removing your sewage and wastewater from your house and treating it before it's discharged, making sure that there are libraries and community recreation facilities that are available to all, ensuring that the roads that they are responsible for are in serviceable order, and making sure that there is security and lighting available in the CBD. It's not a very difficult job, although at times it can be. Now, in all of the things that I've just mentioned to you, there isn't a particular Maori dimension. I'm pretty sure of all the Maori I know that they drink water and defecate and urinate the same as me, or the Indian guy that lives next door to them, or the Chinese person. Now, admittedly, I have never intimately studied the naked features or internal workings of an Asian or an Indian person. But I'm assuming that as a member of the human race, their physical capabilities and dimensions are probably quite similar to mine. Okay. And unfortunately, having had Maori girlfriends, I can tell you that I know theirs are. All right, so given that that's the case, the problem with the Maori wards has always been, why does your ethnicity require separate representation at the table when everybody else comes through the front door? In other words, you can stand, you can be elected, you can vote. So why? Why do you need special privilege? And that hasn't been answered, except it was answered earlier this week by Pena Paniora. When I interviewed her earlier this week, she was the Maori ward representative on the Kaipara District Council, and I think I talked to her on Monday this week on the show. And she said, because only I, and she meant as the representative, can truly articulate the Maori view around the council table. And I went, yeah, but could you do that? And that was the question I asked, if you were elected as an ordinary councillor. And the answer that Pena gave was fascinating. It was really no. And when I sought to explore that in the conversation with Pena Paniora earlier this week, Pena's argument was essentially, if I'm elected as a general representative, so in, let's just say, the Kaipara ward or whatever that particular general ward might be, I'm representing everybody. Yeah. Everybody can vote for me. Yeah. I'm not representing Maori, and only Maori haven't voted for me. So no, I can't. And at that point, you understand the inherent racism of Maori wards and why they are philosophically wrong and politically wrong, is because you're simply picking out a group, an ethnic group, and advantaging them within a special, unique, and singular representation, as opposed to every other ethnic group in Kaipara or anywhere else. Now, the reason why 35 councils, I think, have got Maori wards is they argue so that we want to have a Maori voice around the table. And you could achieve that in any number of ways, including encouraging prominent, eminent, and successful Maori to stand for council. And can I say that when I was the mayor of Whanganui, we had, I was trying to think, 3 people of Maori descent sitting around our table. They included former Maori members of parliament, Maori seat members of parliament, and Rana Waitai. But they also included people who were successful and could walk comfortably amongst both European and Maori worlds. But nevertheless, they gained the support of everybody in Whanganui, which is why they were sitting around the council table. Now, the problem with Pena Paniora and those Maori ward candidates, and the reason why they're not confident of being elected by the general community, is because they are not successful in their own right. Because they have an exclusivity, if you like. They do not believe that they can walk in both worlds as successful individuals, irrespective of their ethnicity, that they can only appeal to one small group that lives within those communities. And again, I would suggest to you that makes for very poor democracy, because the people you want around a table, whether it's Kaipara, Gisborne, Otago, or the West Coast, are people who are dedicated to furthering the interests of all people who are resident in that particular region, district or city. And the reason why the Maori wards are wrong philosophically, but also practically, is because they are not designed to achieve that outcome, but to represent a specific group's special interests and to advance them even if they contradict or are contrary to the wider interests of the district, city or region. That's why I differ from Duncan on that particular issue. The problem that you're seeking to solve is apparently ensuring that Maori have a seat at the table. Yeah, well, the way of ensuring that is making sure that good candidates stand, that they have standing in the community at large, and that they have the confidence of the community that they are being elected to serve. It isn't by ensuring that a small marginal group can choose one of their own in essence and then advance the interests of a special group, as I said, often in contradiction of the wider interests of the community. And the other thing about Pena Paniora, it was interesting, she didn't know, I think she did, how many votes she got to get elected to the table. In her particular ward in Kaipara, she had received only 195 votes to be able to sit at that council table. Less than 1 in 4 Maori electors in her ward actually voted in the election. And of those 1 in 4, I think roughly about 30% voted for Pena. So you can see that if Maori thought the system was going to work for them, Maori wards would have a huge turnout in New Zealand, but they don't. They simply manifest the same problem, which is that Maori are disengaged from local government, full stop. And even when you give them the special vehicle, if anything, they issue from that system even more than from the general vote. So, 2 bases. They're wrong philosophically, Maori wards. They are racist, inherently racist, because they seek to advantage one particular ethnic group over all others, even in contradiction of the wider interests of the district, city or region. And 3, they do not have the confidence of Maori folk even themselves, because the turnout is manifestly so bad. Between 20 and 25% is the average turnout in those wards. Those are my thoughts.